I'm Steve Carver. I want to welcome you to our Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates, which is just a good group of entrepreneurs that are trying to keep their businesses alive after COVID and moving forward and growing. And I appreciate you being a part of my journey and let me be a part of yours. So I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. There's no charge for anything that I offer. Ms. Shorter is paying the bill. So take advantage of the services not only from the Small Business Center, but anything that you ask to me, I'll do the best I can do for you. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, a CPA, just a fellow that's been in business now for 63 years. Same business, never written a bad check, never lost a business, sold a couple of them, but I made a lot of mistakes, and therefore that's called wisdom if you're still in it. So my job is to help you dodge some pitfalls and bad surprises and try to give you as much good information as I can to help your business be successful, make more money, and have less stress. We are so fortunate tonight to have a brand new director of the Small Business Center at Pamlico Community College. That's Katie Shorter, and she is on board with us tonight, kind of running shotgun for as long as she can. When I get to her photograph, I don't ask her to introduce herself. She's located there in Bayboro. That's where we'll be meeting tomorrow night, moving forward. And I'll look forward to seeing y'all down there tomorrow night. But the center is right on Main Street, real easy to find, right across, I think. Katie, what's that business that your center is right across the street from?
It's the same side of the street as the public library next to the Cosmetology Center.
All right. Thank you, dear. And here's a picture of it. It's also got a brand new sign up here that's in front of this one talking about the Small Business Center. And there's Katie. Would you like to have a few words? Just lost your voice.
I'm gonna welcome everybody. I am actually teaching my last community college class, Intro to Business, at Craven Community College this evening online, so I will have to duck out at 6:30 for my students. But I just wanted to welcome everybody. I know we've got people from all over the state. Just wanted you all to keep in mind that every county in the state has their own small business center, just like this one. And our job is, our sole purpose is to help small businesses start and grow in North Carolina. So nothing that we offer is of any charge, and that goes from everything from marketing to business plan development to current market analysis, website help. We will connect you with local CPAs or lawyers if you need some help. There's some free network advisors that work with us, but nothing is paid for by you. And it truly is, it's not a government organization where you're registering and being followed or anything like that. It really is just to empower you to make your dreams come true. So please reach out to your local SBC should you want to take the next step. And in the meantime, all of our classes statewide are free. As you see, there's lots of options online. And I would encourage you to look for some local ones as well, because I really believe that you get a lot out of the person-to-person face contact classes as well. So that's about all I have. Steve's got a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to let him start.
Thank you, Katie. We certainly appreciate you making this program available for all of us. Okay, everyone, you got a chat button. Let's learn to use it all through these series. When Katie is on board with us, she'll be monitoring that and interrupts me when you raise your hand or you have a question. And also, I check the chat at the end of each session, make a copy of it, try to respond to any questions or requests that you've asked by email the following day. So use that chat button, and that's a good way for us all to communicate. I'd really like for you to have your name, your email address, and your hometown there to help us know what the scope of our work is and what's going on. Study guides that were available for tonight's presentation. What is the main study guide? It starts out with the number 963. Plus you got the drill skills, SEO, marketable profit centers, stacking profits, and naming your domain. Those study guides, those that have requested, Katie and I have mailed them to you, or will do that when you request it. Now, let's just talk real seriously. We've got repeat people that have been to 2 or 3 of these at this point. Hopefully at this time you can see that I'm very serious about trying to help you move forward and work very, very hard. I've put so many more hours in this than you can imagine after the presentations are over, for the sole purpose of I really want to see you move forward as fast as you want to go. So I'm doing my homework, guys, and I want you to do yours. If you want your business to move forward, there's a few things that you really just need to do. That is, get serious about listing down your profit centers, because they will be a part of our business planning that you'll see tonight. Learn how to do a YouTube video. It's going to be super important when you go out into the world, into the business world. You don't have to be fancy and all dressed up and all to make a good video. You just need to be yourself, so people will be able to hear your introduction, because that will lead them to giving you a call and feel like they know you from the first statement. It's important that you think about what your mission statement and your vision and the promises that you want to make to yourself and the community. It's important that you write them down in 2 or 3 paragraphs. And for those that have been on board the last 2 weeks, I sent you a lot of samples of what some other people have done. And if you want to write one up and send me a copy of it, or send it to Katie, we'll proofread it and send it back to you with some suggestions. But you know what? It's not our statement. It's yours, because I want you to own it. Because once you put it in writing, you know what happens? Then you really become committed to it also. You need pictures. You need lots of photos of yourself and your business if people are going to be able to feel comfortable that you are a person real, not just a web page or another of the billion businesses in business. Photos go so far to help people feel comfortable in accepting you as someone they want to send their money to. Using those photos and videos on Facebook is going to be very, very important for you as a learning process. I know a lot of us, including me, there's a lot of things about Facebook that I do not like. That can spread a lot of bad information around on Facebook. But the other side of that, there's a good side of it too, a glass half full. They can spread around a lot of information about your business, and people will find you there and start doing business with you pretty much free on your part. It's just making the effort. Making the effort is the key, and Facebook is a good place to do that. We'll continue to send you my 40 Main Street drill skills to learn, and part of your homework is, if you want to get the Extraordinary Extra Mile Award, is I want you to read those and then paraphrase them in your words. Just write a couple of sentences about each drill skill and send it back to me so that I know that you get it, that you understand. And that's a major part of being able to get a really nice certificate also. Now, all of these are not just take it or leave it. In other words, I'm not saying it's my way or the highway, because everyone has some situations that something may not apply. Maybe you're not ready to go public with your business yet, so you're willing to do the video, but you don't want to put it online yet. I understand and appreciate that. Just share with me. As long as I see you're really in it to win it, and you're working hard to see your business moving, we're going to be all about giving you all the support that we can to help you get to the next level. So you do your homework and I'll do mine. On the other side of it, if you just want to float down the river and enjoy these presentations and just get attendance awards, then you're welcome to do that as well. I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm just trying to motivate you, but I also want you to stay with us. Don't run from all this talk. I'm asking you to do things if you're not ready to do it. So let's now show you an example of what I do to check things out. This is Valerie Smith, and Valerie came into the Entrepreneur Academy through the Wilmington Small Business Center 4 years ago, and she has completed 4 of our sessions through the time. And she opened her business up last year, and she's moved forward with it, and she has gone from 0 to 120 in just a few months. Now, these videos, sometimes when you show them on these webinars, the sound isn't good, so I'd ask you to turn your sound up and just try to do the best we can. I hope it comes through good. I'm going to turn my microphone into my speaker. Let's just show you what Valerie has done here in just a little bit.
Hi, my name is Valerie Smith. I am the founder of Golden Point Transit Plus. This is a transportation service for the disabled and senior population. We offer non-emergency, wheelchair accessible, and door-to-door service. We do medical appointments, recreational, and social events. Please give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Valerie had never done a video before. She worked on it hard. She prepared her scripts, found someone to actually do the filming for it, and then I found someone to help them edit it a little bit. It is amazing what you can do with almost no money to get this plan working. So how have I done this now? Let's see what I've got going on here. Start getting fancy, I get in trouble. Anyway, the example of Valerie doing her own video, all of us want to do this. And I'm going to encourage you and help you all that I can in this series. Go ahead and get your phones out or get your children to help start making you do videos. Katie, I want to challenge you to give us an introductory video as Small Business Center. And I can send you several samples that other directors are doing. They are so very powerful, and I want you to do it. So last week we had Stephanie and Alexandria and Beth and Daniel and Celicia, someone in Manassas, Virginia, and Wall Street. So Wall Street is back with us tonight, and hopefully we'll have some others before the program is over. Shanika is back with us. So see, I'll keep up with what you're doing, and if you're in it to win it, then we're going to watch you and encourage you to come forward. Dr. Carol Ray is with us tonight. She is from the Graham area. Welcome, Dr. Ray. Carol. She is looking at several possibilities of businesses to start. Really a great individual and has been a great contributor to the Academy. So we're glad to have you on board with us tonight. Angela Henna has been with us since we started the series. She's over in Faces. She's in the trucking business. And Angela wants to move forward with catering and event planning and doing some nonprofit work with peer support specialists. Just a great Christian individual. So, Angela, thank you for hanging in there with us and coming back. So, welcome a brand new Academy candidate with Tom Davis. Good to have you on board tonight. Tom is the website dude, and he rocks. And he wants to do website and build website works for you and do virtual help, helping you market. So, Tom, it's so good to have you on board. Now, I want a good personal picture of you so that we'll be using a real picture instead of caricatures. They're funny and they're good, but we also need a video of you introducing yourself like we discussed earlier. But you're doing a great job just getting started. I know you're just putting the pieces together, so congratulations. Last Thursday night, we had Mike Davis with us, who is in the auctioneer business. He's got a real popular name. When you search Mike Davis, there's 10 billion of them. So I couldn't find a particular Mike or anything on him, but hopefully we'll see him tomorrow night and encourage him to give us some more business. He came to some of the auctioneer seminars that they give. And look at here. Congratulations, we got Shanika. She's on board with us tonight out at the soccer park, watching her children play and still tuning in. We are so proud of you and all the work that you're doing, and what a great mom that you are, and how proud you are of your children. Shanika's into getting started with her notary public work, going to go into real estate sales, and also her and her husband own a hand wash and detailing business for cars. They've already moved forward, done some work on the internet, got an internet site up that's looking real good. Shanika, I'm looking really forward to meeting your husband and helping y'all push this website to be more active. Chuck, glad to have you on board tonight. Thank you for joining us and for being with us Thursday night. We're so glad to see you. Chuck is in the wood crafting business. If you want it built out of wood, he's the man that can make it happen. So over in Bayboro, and looking forward to watching him grow his business. And that a pretty piece that he's did. If you want it made, you got an idea of what you want, you let Chuck see it, he can fix it right up for you. If you have the visuals and you can send your personality out, you can start making money. And Beverly, glad to have you on board tonight. Thank you so much for being with us Thursday night. Now, this is one entrepreneur extraordinary. She's from over in Aurora. She's opening up her own business. It's going to be called the Blue Crab Boutique. So happy to see that come up. And I don't guarantee you when she opens that up, we're all going to be excited and try to send her lots of business. Now, Bev's an artist in herself, and we're so lucky to have you with us tonight. Thanks for being with us here as well. She's already getting her merchandise ready to start selling. Got her T-shirts all ready to start selling. I'm so proud of you. That is great promotional work and helps a new business get started. But as of this week, this is what the store looks like. So there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of sweat, and I hope the air conditioner is working these days because I know that's a lot of hard work. I've opened up some new business myself through the years, and just a lot to do. So thank you, Beverly, for all that you're doing. Christina, I'm sure will be with us a little later. She says she might know. Well, she is on board. Hi, Christina. Glad to have you with us tonight. Now, she is an entrepreneur extraordinary, too. We're so lucky to have her in the Baber area. Katie, I can't wait to learn more about all the different things that Christina is doing. But she's selling products, and she has got the knack of how to get good pictures and good images in front of the public. I just know that you're going to be very successful by using these skills and putting them to work. Plus, she also will help other people sell their products and help other vendors. She's an organizer, and organizers is what it takes in the entrepreneur world to really do a lot of great networking. If you're helping someone else, then they're going to help you. So thank you for what you're doing with helping other folks with their pop-up events. Just a lot of it. And what's really great about it, Christina has mastered, well on the way to mastering videoing, so that she'll be able to not only to do a good job with her items, but also that might be a side business for you, Christina. I see you got plenty of knowledge, and Tom was telling us earlier that he's really good with videos too. That might be a good teamwork thing that y'all do, maybe even a business to get started. Congratulations on your beauty products business and on your jewelry. You're doing an excellent job with your imaging, such a good job in promoting those. All of us need to do the type of work that Christina is doing. So what I want is all of you's names on this screen. If we can put it on this screen for the Academy, then you can put it on the screen for the whole world to help grow your business. This is what I want you to understand. These programs and these webinars and seminars and this homework is not about Katie and I, it's about you. So you give us the tools to work with, and we'll help that business get going. All right, let's move into our subject matter, which is getting started on the internet. And we're basics now. Some of you are way past what we're going to talk about tonight, but I am sure there'll be some lessons that we can do. We're going to talk about the basics. So find chat when you have questions. Give us your name. If there's anything that we can send to you, we want to do that for you. But it's up to you to stay in touch with us and get involved with the email. I really appreciate most of you answering email that I'm sending to you and working to get it done. Sarita Sampson is with us tonight from over at Clinton. Sarita, thank you for joining us. She is a master's associate and helps me. Sarita actually prints and designs our certificates at the end of each session. So I'm proud to be an entrepreneur. I know that y'all are, and we're looking forward to making this work and to move forward. White knuckles, you know what I mean by that, as we talked about Thursday night? This is a white knuckle world in entrepreneurship. It's like riding a roller coaster up and down because business comes in cycles. And when you're first getting started, it is really a tough cycle because there'll be a lot of times that we're hanging on for dear life. But this whole series is to help you there in Pamlico County and across the state to have the skills to be able to relax a little bit and enjoy the ride and not have to have white knuckles. You know what? Getting started now is something that I always like to say. That's my friend Elvis. Y'all know Elvis? It's now or never, my friends. If you go one more day without getting your business started, it's not my fault because I'm doing my best to try to motivate you. I hope you're smiling and saying, okay, Steve is working hard for me. I'm going to do my part now. So here's 5 things that I want us to do. I want you to stay with me the whole program tonight, but there's 5 things I want to make sure that you get down pat and you write on your pad. What is really important for you to have is a good mobile page at your website. What do people see when they see you on the telephone? Because that is the way 90% of the people are shopping today on that smartphone. What are you doing about your mobile page? And Tom, I want you to really drive this home with everyone that you talk to about a website. It's so more important than just having a home page. You need a mobile page that is working. And your landing pages, we'll use that term a lot tonight, landing pages are those pages that you single out that we drive customers to, and when we get them there, we're going to try to sell them something. It's not about talking about how pretty it is, showing them all the videos, talking about information sharing and all like this. There needs to be some pages where you're selling because that's where you make your profit. And a Google My Business account is critical. It's free, it's automatic, and it is so powerful that tomorrow you could go online to Google My Business and set up a Google My Business account, and automatically people would be able to give you 5 stars, learn all about your business, start doing business with you, see where you're located, have a map to drive to. So before this series is over, you're going to hear a lot about Google My Business because it is so powerful. Hold yourself and your webmaster accountable. Now, I want you to get on the internet. I want you to have a website. And also, if you don't know how to do it, I want you to hire somebody to help you. But not just because you want to be there, but you want to be there the right way. And the right way is having a website that's actually making money for you. So webmasters, and I misspelled webmaster there. I'll fix that sometime. Katie, help me remember that. Misspelled something. So here we go. Your webmaster needs to be held accountable and build websites that's going to make you money. YouTube videos, a must, because if you have a video on your web page, it will be in front of all the other web pages that do not have video. That's why I emailed to you all these sample videos that I've done, and I'll be showing you what other folks are doing because it is so important. So challenge tonight. If you're in this to win it, get your cell phones out and start making some introduction videos. Tomorrow night in Bayboro, if you hadn't ever done it before, if you want to see 2 or 3 people, including me, make a mess out of it, we'll sit there and try it ourselves. But the learning process has to start, and it's fun. So bring your smartphone to Bayboro tomorrow night, and we'll start making some videos together and kind of get in the groove. You're going to add videos or you're going to lose sales. Let's do a deja vu on this. You are going to add videos or you're going to lose sales. So just take that as the gospel and make it happen. Your mobile page needs to have a certain message there. Message number 1 is give me a call now. If someone finds you on the phone and it's in their hand, make it easy for them to touch a button and call you right now. Yeah, not just hang around and keep surfing, but to call you right now is what you want them to do. You need a second button on there that if they don't want to call you, they can press another button and send you an email or a text message. Big buttons to make that happen. And also either email or text. Make it easy for them to get in touch with you because you want them to start buying. And when you do that, you are cutting the knees out from under the competition because your shopper has become ready to buy instead of just keep shopping. Once someone sends you an email or calls you up, they're giving you a chance to make the sale. And we're going to talk about how to be a marketing whiz and to turn those opportunities into sales. You want to tell folks that it's about us, that we're ready to help you. Let them know that you're welcoming those calls. Now here's my mobile page for CarverEquipment.com, my main business. You see what I'm talking about? You see that blue button there to call me now? You see that text? So all over the United States, I'll get text messages from all over the country every day because of that mobile page right there. And I'll certainly get telephone calls all over, because just like a lot of y'all tonight are not looking at this presentation on your computer, you're using your telephone to do it, which is wonderful. And most people are shopping with their phone, so it's so important that that you have a good mobile page. Now here's what Google My Business account looks like. Google My Business account gives someone you can show them the pictures. This is my home office here, map to my office, how to get to the website, directions, all the things. I took this up right after we started this, so it's a lot more sophisticated now. But you can, on day one, start doing business with Google My Business. Engage with your customers. Google has a lot of different ways to engage with the customers, and setting up appointments for you and getting back in touch. Facebook is critical, as I said earlier. You are going to need to learn how to create some ads on Facebook or some promotions, and you can advertise on Facebook without spending money. You can also advertise on Facebook and do what they call boost. And boosting is you start paying for clicks and actually send those ads into certain communities, towns, or states the way you want to do it. When you have your Facebook personal and business pages, then you can have links at your web pages, because so many people had rather shop on Facebook or see about the individual at the company. Yeah. So at my Facebook page, at my website page for carverequipment.com, I have got 3 Facebook links where they can either go to my equipment company Facebook, or just like us in general, or to my personal page. Many folks will go to a business website and maybe see something they like, but before they do business with them, they're going to go to the individual owner's personal Facebook page just to see what they're all about, to see if they're real, to see if they're a family person, or maybe somebody that's hiding from the public. If you're coming across as someone that's trying to stay anonymous, like you're ashamed of something, then there's a large percentage of customers that will never, ever give you the opportunity to do business. So I'm always talking about being more personable. So this is my my home page at my website, and examples of how I promote the Facebook pages right here. All right, let's do a step-by-step on how you can get started on Facebook. If you're already there, congratulations. I don't say, well, then you start trying to do better. It's so easy, and I'll move this through pretty quickly because we're recording this. I'll be able to send you a recording of this presentation late tonight or tomorrow, and you can go back through and follow this step-by-step if you want to. But on your Facebook page, there's a place right here where the arrows are to click on it, which says Menu. And when you click on Menu, it'll carry you to the next page, and so one of your options is Page. See that green arrow that says Page? You click on that. What we're doing here is creating business pages. Creating business pages, but you have to start at your personal page. Once you get to the page, lots of things here. You're creating a page. You would name the page. Talk about categories, different descriptions, basic, easy to fill in information. You just move along and follow the directions. Fairly easy to do. And here's the news. You can have lots and lots of business pages, lots of DBA pages. You don't need a couple of photographs, because in one of the slots you'll have a page here for your main introduction photograph up here, and then you'll have a smaller photograph down here. And most people down here will put their individual photograph in here. I noticed that Christina had done an extra good job with that. It's a really great shot that you've used, but have 2 great photographs that'll help promote your business, and I'll show you some examples there. And you just insert them in. They're very easy to do. Now, here's an example of a business page that I did for the Small Business Center over at Kinston. Notice I put a photograph in the downtown area because the Small Business Center is right here in this building. And then in this photograph over here, I showed a group of folks coming out of a seminar at the Small Business Center there. So you pick up some pictures that are applicable to what you're trying to do. Now here's one of my business pages for CarverEquipment.com, where I have some pictures of the equipment up here at the top, and then in this slide I use one of my logos. So you got a lot of options to do it any way that you want to do it. This is my business page for promoting our webinars and seminars. Again, I got just the image here and my personal picture there. So there's no limit to the number of business pages or DBAs that you can do. Here's my page where I promote my books, Journey of a Lifetime books that we do on Facebook, and refer people to Amazon from Facebook. Once you get into it, you can create events. This was when I was testing this out. This is the director of the Small Business Center in Kinston, Greg Hannibal, talking about the webinars and seminars that he's presenting. So you can do all those different kind of things. Let's say you're having a sale, and Christina's already learned this. You can set up events, your pop-up events, or the sales that you're having, your grand opening. Shanishka, I'm looking forward to y'all having some special events for the hand wash and detailing business. Using this will be a great work for you. And when you get your real estate business up and running, real estate folks do a fantastic job using Facebook to move forward. Once you're ready to start advertising, you can do what's called Boost. And boosting is where you pay Facebook a little bit of money, and they will direct your ads to certain areas. And you can actually have a menu to determine what communities that your ads will be seen in, and that's the only ones that you pay for. This particular one right here, I was creating some ads for the Montgomery County Small Business Center over in Troy and Bisco. So I picked up out the local towns in that area, and that's where we promoted the webinars and seminars that we were putting on. You can also determine how many days that you run your ad and how much money that you're going to spend. And once you get it ready, you do Boost. So when you do Boost, that means you've provided Facebook a credit card. And they will charge that credit card depending on what the budget is that you set up. Now, if you notice on this one, we had it set up for $5 a day, and it was running for 4 days. So I had a $20 budget on this particular promotion. And you can have it as large or as small as you want it to do. I was hesitant doing this with Boost for a number of years, but I've been actively working with it. I'm spending probably $2,000 a year with Facebook now, boosting my different businesses and promotions. And so far, I've been very, very pleased with what they do. You can invite your friends. Once you have different pages set up, you're able to invite all your Facebook friends to come and see your business pages. And you can have 5,000 friends. That's right, it's 5,000, 5,000 friends on Facebook, which means that you're able to send an advertisement to thousands of people without spending any money, just by sharing them with your friends. But you need to build up that friendship in certain ways, and collecting and building those friends will help you indeed promote your business in different places. Fresh bait in the water. We talked about that the last 2 times that we've been together, putting fresh bait in the water. And one of the ways that you can have fresh bait to invite friends, that's right, we're trying to catch customers with fresh bait, is having lots of business pages that you can share. Now here's a sample of my list of different pages. I've added on some since I did this slide. So when I've got something to promote, I'll put the page up, and then I'll go and share it on these different groups so that lots and lots of more people see it. The key on Facebook is not who you're sending the ad to or the message to, because if you word your message in such a way to encourage other people to share it, your 1,000 friends that you may send the message to may be shared with another 1,000. So it kind of it multiplies all the time as you're doing this. With Facebook ads, they will tell you what the results are and how much money you're spending every day through the whole campaign. This particular campaign, it looks like we reached 97 people, and I spent 54 cents. If people don't open the ad and don't click on it, you don't have to pay for it. So I'm giving you some good ideas on that. Shifting gears now. You will not reach your goals if you don't ever set your goals. And setting goals, tangible goals, are so important in small business. I had a friend call me this past week, a young lady who attended our seminars from the Hosky area maybe 10 years ago. And she was really young, just out of college at the time, a new baby, very disorganized, a lot she wanted to achieve, but with very few resources, and just trying to get things settled down, but without direction. And she called me for the express purpose to invite me to speak to her entrepreneurial group in her particular county. She started a group of her own. She's got her own business up and running, and she's helping other entrepreneurs. And she said that these series and setting some goals down to settle down and get serious about moving forward in a good direction meant all the difference to her, and for the rest of her life, she knew that she was going to benefit from it. So I appreciated very much her sharing that with me. It makes me feel good that I've offered something to someone that will help her. So I want to say to you, because I know that a lot of you guys are just getting started. Maybe you've been around a while, but you haven't been in business for a while. So this slide right here, with these blank lines, can represent your stepping stones to getting moving in the right directions. We need a foundation. And you setting goals, things that you want to achieve in the near future, in the next 6 months, things that you want to achieve in the next 6 months are so important. I want to encourage you to write them down, to think seriously about them, because it's going to play so important when we're doing your business plan work, which you will see tomorrow night. First goal is add new customers. We all got to have these new customers, and it takes a direct, organized, focused effort to make it happen. It just won't happen because we say, well, I'm here. If I build it, they will come. Not. You get new customers because you really work to bring them in. So that's why it's going to be so important in week 3 and 4 in our series here that you really come and pay attention and learn how to add new customers. Here's the kind of the sad part of the story. You will lose a third of your customers every year. And if you're brand new in business and you just got a few customers and you lose a third of them, that's a big lick away from you, right? So it's a serious effort to how are we going to go about adding new customers and make that a goal. Once we add them, we need to retain them. Customer retention has got to be something on our mind all the time to make it work. These new customers, retaining the customers, putting their names into a customer base, having a way to stay in touch with them. When I mentioned to you all, let me have your email address, tell me your hometown, tell me more information about yourself. This is an example of how you go about building your database. I'm showing you how by asking y'all to do it for me, and then you'll see me using them by sending you email and information. You want to do the same exact thing. I see we got some new folks with us so far. Gilbert, glad to have you with us tonight. Thank you for logging in. Glad to have you. Make sure that you go into the chat room there and give us your name and email address and where you're located, what type of business you're in. That's what you want to do with every time you have a chance to meet a customer, my friends. Get the information from them that you can stay in business. A major goal is you want to have continuous cash flow. Positive cash flow, of course. That is important, and it doesn't happen unless you design your plan and have a program to make it happen. That's where we come in with your business planning. That's where we come in with forecasting, negotiating, and learning how to close deals. That's doing what it takes for continuous positive cash flow. I want you to have a lot of years of a lot of sales with less stress. And there's 40 things that you can do to almost ensure and assure yourself that you'll have more sales with less stress. And those 40 things are those drill skills that I mentioned so much. That's why I really want you to take that handout that's been sent to you, go and look at those videos, and then write down in your words how you will apply those drill skills in your business and in your future. And when you own that, when they become a part of your DNA, you will have more sales with less stress for a long time. Now, changing gears again, an internet business is a virtual storefront. We have to consider that and make sure you get it. 25 years ago, when the internet was just getting started and very few people had internet businesses, it took a long time to get employees at the local shop, down at the tractor store, the food store, the gift shop. It took a long time to get folks to appreciate the fact that internet customers are just as important as people walking into your store. But that's a big deal. So we're going to find that out in a hurry. Now, Beverly, putting up her storefront, making a huge investment to get people to come into a location. Well, she's got it together because she knows already that she's going to have a lot of small businesses represented within her store. Plus, she's going to use the power of the internet to help promote not only her business and her crafts and her products, but also those of her customers. So it's a win-win for everyone. Having a bricks and mortar store is important, but it will work so much better if you also have a virtual or an internet representation for those. Now, this is my home page at carverequipment.com. I'm showing you this to give you an example of the different things that I've been doing for a lot of years that make money. Notice that I've got my different profit centers in these blocks, individual blocks there that will create individual entries. Brand names are important. Branding and trademarks are important. So I've tried to emphasize that and mix this up about every 2 years. We'll redo that. This area right here on my home page is a slideshow. These slides go back and forth about every 5 or 6 seconds with a new program. What I want you to do is consider having a slideshow on your home page. And Tom, I hope you're interested, because my webmaster says that when he's promoting my business to his other customers, his business, he shows them my web page, and the people really zoom in on these slideshows and large ads. I like this because I try to make it personal. I talk about the different organizations that I'm a member of, different things that I'm interested in as an individual. Why? Because individuals are the people that are buying, not other web pages, but it's people that make the decisions. So I try to have as much people stuff up here as I possibly can. Plus, you see right here, there's a place to click on retail testimonials. I want my customers to know that I'm proud of our business and have lots of other customers that will vouch for us. So one of these slides says testimonials. Click right here, and it's got a finger pointing here. I give our history, our company history, talk about my dad starting the business. So I invite all of you to go to carverequipment.com and see the different ways that we try to make customers feel very comfortable. Veteran-owned business, and I'm sure that we got some veterans that are joining us tonight. That is a big deal with a lot of people. So if you're a veteran, I want you to make sure you let the world know it, because a lot of people will give you business or opportunities on that fact. This is my home page for Fast Forward Services. This is my website that creates interest in other things. That's my second website. And then I have lookhere.biz, which is just a kind of experimental website that I'm working on to promote tourism. Selling information. There's 3 things that websites do. And I really want you to define what type of website that you have. There's websites that sell products, and that's what my Carver Equipment Company did. There's websites that share information, and that's what this one does right here. And there's websites that sell services, like my Fast Forward Services website. What type of website will you have? Are you selling service or products or information? because that's going to be important when you talk to your webmaster or you design your website, so that you'll know how to promote different things. And sometimes you can manipulate your web presentation to do some of all of it. You can have divide up your home page and send people to different clicks to serve different things. But you need to know what it is that you're trying to achieve at that website, so you got goals to set. Is a business plan necessary for a online business? It really is. A bad plan is better than no plan. And if you're just getting started, I want you to have from day one, a goal to determine what's left. And what's left is how much money is left at the end of a certain period of time. If you don't work to earn additional income and revenues, we need to know what that target goal is to make a business plan, bring it in for you. So what does that business plan do? And tomorrow night at Bayboro, in a live presentation, we'll be building our own business plans and business planners to help determine what's left. When you're just getting started, you just have to guess. I've said to a lot of people, sometimes you have to be in business 2 or 3 years before you can write a realistic business plan, because everything before that is guesswork. That's why at the Business Center and working with folks like me, yeah, we're kind of guessing, but we're guessing based on a lot of experience. And so our guesses are going to be closer than those folks who haven't got the experience that we do. We don't estimate and guess how much your expenses are going to be. And then we don't estimate what your revenues are going to be. And when we subtract the expenses from the revenues, that's what's left. And I want that what's left to be somewhere darn close or a little bit more than what your minimum goals were in getting started. So, yes, I want to start an internet sales business, but my question to you is now, what's your target goal for income after, say, the first 6 months or the first year? When we know that goal, we'll know if we're putting together a business plan that's going to work really for you. The business plan works only when the marketing plan is working as well. So in week 3 and 4, we'll be talking about marketing and putting together a plan that's going to tell you what's next. It is so important that you have the sense of security that you're working in a way to guarantee, as much as you can guarantee anything in today's world, but you've got a really good chance of seeing this thing work for the long term. And by following what I call the golden goose marketing plan, you will indeed start business now and put in place the different tactics and strategies to create business over and over and over with repeat customers. That's why it's so important that you get on board and understand how the marketing plan is working for you. Internet businesses are really important businesses in this world because they have a unique factor. They're intangible. It's not like I've got a hammer here. I can sell you a hammer and I can feel it. I can tell you how much it costs me, tell you what it is selling for on the day's market. But a website and internet business is a different animal. It's an intangible. And with websites, when you want to sell your business, and let me tell you, my friend, I always ask entrepreneurs to try to build a business that you can sell one day. You know, we don't know how long we're going to live or how our health's going to hold up or what opportunities are going to be coming around the corner or what we want to do. Or maybe a lot of people just start businesses to sell them. And internet businesses are certainly one of the most popular types that they do. So I was really excited to work with a couple of people that are on board with us tonight, especially with Tom and with Christina. I can see that they are headed in directions of putting together businesses or entities of those businesses that one day they might be able to sell to someone else and put some big bucks in their pocket. So if you don't have a business to sell, you got to have a better business plan. You got to have really good presentations. You got to take a lot of pride in the way you operate it and how it looks through your customer's eyes. I call that mirror vision. How does your website and your presentations look through the customer's eyes? Yeah, that's really what's important. And so that you'll be available to take the opportunity if a sale comes along. People will look at a successful website, the way it's managed, what type of customer base that you have, what's its growth potential, what do people say about it, have you used a good DBAs. Websites are intangible, but the sale point is the possibilities. And that's blue sky. But in today's world, evaluators and appraisers put some mighty good prices on the blue sky possibilities of a website that's up and running. Now, there's 12 steps that we can talk about to kind of get you started. So if you're using your handout to follow along, just let me know. Some of you are brand new with us tonight and you don't have the handouts and the study guides, so make sure over in the chat board that you give me your name and your email address and actually say there, please send the handouts to me, Steve, and I'll email them to you sometime tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to send you a copy of our tape presentation. So let's choose the type of online business that you're going to have. Several different types you may need to choose. An affiliate business, information websites and blogs, a website where you're selling your own products and services, or maybe you're going to become a retailer or a wholesaler or a reseller. Lots of different possibilities you can go with, or maybe some type of mixture. So think about that. Now, what is an affiliate business? An affiliate business would be like you're doing multi-level marketing and you're selling Metallica or Christmas cards or so many others, where you've got the main web page at the multimedia marketer website, but when someone goes there and they log in with a certain code and they buy something, you get a commission for it. That's an affiliate business. Or you may be putting your products and the things that you're selling on sale at eBay. So you're using the eBay website to sell your products. See what I'm saying? And a lot of people do that and do quite well with it. Or number two, maybe you're just in the information website and blogs where you're providing information free, but over on the side you're selling ads to different people like they do at Amazon.com or some other places. That Amazon gives you the free shopping process, but everyone else is advertising on the side. And then there's like the ones you've seen that I do, like most of y'all will be doing, websites designed basically to sell your own products and services. And then maybe you're going to take it to the next level where you don't have a online showing people how to do things, how to purchase things, a mixture of everything. I mean, the world is changing, and who knows what the next type of websites may be out there today. So how are you going to get started? First of all, you chose the products and the type of website you wanted. Now it's time to research the market. And with Google keyword searches, you're going to be able to find a lot of information. And I want to tell you that there's no reason we have to reinvent the wheel to get you up and running. Because somewhere in this world, there's someone doing what you're thinking about doing. And if they're really good at it, they're going to have a good website presentation, and we need to study it, see what works, see what doesn't work, glean out of it what we want, make our changes, and move forward. Notice the bottom line down here is I want you to find a niche in the marketplace, something that you can do better than anybody else because of where you're located, because of what you know, or just you've got a great idea. Niche markets are the key to internet success. When you can do something better than anyone else, or you're willing to do something different, and that's why I give a salute to Chuck. I think Chuck's got the unique idea that he's going to come forward with saying, you know, if you see something you want made out of wood, let me take a shot at it. And that's going to lead, Chuck, to you becoming really good at making certain things, certain tables, that we're going to call them the place piece of furniture, and start branding certain items with your brand. And if they're really cool and can be used for gifts, can be assembled and shipped easily all across the United States, then you could possibly put in some type of a high volume marketing program in place, bring on some people to help you make them, and actually grow your business pretty much as large as you want to grow it. And that's where I need to say that some of us want to have businesses that are wide open, growing leaps and bounds, and others want us to moderate how large our business gets and to do things like that, small to certain increments up, or being at a certain level, serving a certain need. That's where this business plan work is going to be so important. And also, depending on the growth potential that you're after, we'll do different things with the marketing plan too. You'll need a legal entity for your website business, depending on what it is. Usually it's LLCs that folks go with, and you'll need the regular things, just like you got a bricks and mortar business, lots of things to consider. So if you want, in the handouts that we're sending to you and our other webinars, we'll talk about how to become legal in your business. But the main thing is, because if you're going on the internet and you're opening yourself up to a lot of liabilities of things that you're making or selling, especially if you're selling things that people are going to ingest, like food, honey, candies, lotions, soaps, those type of things that may have some real liabilities around children or other folks, then you're going to want to make sure that you are incorporated and that you have some liability insurance in place, because you don't have exposure. So exposure is the key critical thing about what type of business entity that you need. If you have particular questions about that, you need to talk to Katie at the Small Business Center. Ask me some questions, and we'll certainly help try to steer you in the right directions. So let's get established. You can get established, as I mentioned, at Google My Business, on Facebook, on eBay, at Amazon. There's lots of ways that you can have a website presence tomorrow if you decide that's what you want to do. But you should gauge that presence with your business planner. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to talk about setting a 6-month planner with different goals. And we'll be writing things in, or you will be, on how far along the line do you want to be in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, all the way out for 6 months. So give that some thought tonight. What's the next step that you want to get to? Where are you now? And what's the next level you want to get to? And we'll start putting that plan together so you can start making some money. Maybe you have or have not registered your domain. If you don't have your own website, it's time that you give that some thought about what your website name going to be. A website name is called a domain name. And so you can do that. You can go to a lot of different places. GoDaddy.com, you can go there and type in all different types of possible website names, and they'll tell you if they're good or not, or if you need to keep shopping. Lots of do's and don'ts to do with shopping for that. So I want to say to you, we need a name for your business. We need a name for your corporation. We need a name for your domain, for your website. And we need additional DBAs for the ways that we're going to brand your products or services. A lot to consider there. And one of your handouts is do's and don'ts about naming your business and your domain. And if you have questions related to that, we'll be glad to help you with it. Finding a website host is just a matter of finding that person either online or that's going to be your webmaster. A host is somewhere that you rent servers from, and a server is a box about like a DVD player, and it's a computer that runs website information. And a host might have a building that's many stories high and a whole block long in a big city with 100,000 servers inside of it and a big air conditioner running to keep them from getting too hot. So your large host companies are huge now. And when first got started 35, 40 years ago in the internet business, finding a host was really important, one that could stay online, because they would seem to always be having equipment failures or power failures or blackouts or different types of things. But the hosting business now has become very, very dependable for the most part. So you'll be working with your webmaster and which host he likes to work with to put a place to hold your website. Designing your website, do it yourself or hire a designer. There's a lot of different folks that are doing that. We're fortunate tonight to have Tom with us, who's getting started in that type of business. We're also fortunate to have Katie with us tonight, who can design and help get a website up and running. And I know 3 or 4 other contractors that would be glad to help you as well. So here's the main message. If you know how to do it and you're comfortable with it, then go for it. You do it yourself. But if you don't know what you're doing and you're experimenting as you go by, and this process to get a website up and running is going to take 6 months or 6 years, and once you get it up and running, it's going to be Mickey Mouse, wishy-washy, low-level proficiency, then what have you saved? You hadn't saved anything. It's cost you money. Go first class and go now. Have your budget and don't go past your budget. And I'm giving you ways tonight to go first class without spending any real money. Go first class on Facebook. Go first class on Google My Business. Go first class with just a few pages, but mainly getting a mobile page up and running. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can grow as you go. But if you want a website, and I want you to own your own website that works, then make sure that if you're paying someone to put it together for you, you hold them accountable that they're going to make you money with it. If they don't know what they're doing, they shouldn't be charging you for it. Or if they're new at it, they should be giving you a heck of a lot of discount and an understanding that you all don't grow together and try to make it work. But even in that situation, I want a level of accountability, because you know what? A lot of brand new web designers can do wonderful work with website software, but don't know how to sell. And somewhere in the game, somebody's got to know how to sell something. And transmitting that information into the web page is the key to success. I've had so many people come on board and come to our presentations through the Academy through the years and say, well, Steve, I've had a website for years, and I have to ask them, I said, is it making you money? And almost always, very seldom do they say, no, I'm not making any money, I'm not getting any orders, I need some work on it. Well, you know what? I've come to learn now, that's why they're at the seminars and webinars, because their websites aren't working. So let's change that right now. Let's have a determination that, yes, I want this, but I want it to work from day one. And and I don't keep making the changes until it is bringing me in money. I would say that in my experience in the 15 years I've been doing this, if you've got something good to sell, the investment you put in your website ought to be you should get it back within 60 to 120 days. That investment should pay you a dividend, and you already get that money back in profits. That's right. And if that is not happening, then I need to say we need to change our profit centers and put some stuff out here online that people will buy and let me make some money. One of your handouts says SEO. All of us, let's say that together. Are you with me? Say, uh-huh. SEO. This is the amen section of why a website works and why it doesn't work. Search engine optimization is so important, and I got a special handout for you that I want you to read every word of it and then read it again, because if you don't own the how SEO works and understand it well, there's no way you can go forward as a proficient entrepreneur on the internet, because SEO is the secret to making sure that your presentations show up ahead of all the competition. That's pretty important, isn't it? And do you automatically get good SEO optimization on a website just because you pay a webmaster to put together a web page for you? No. No, because that's getting back to what I was saying. Someone may know how to make a website be active on the internet, but that doesn't mean that people will find it. That doesn't mean that when they do find it, they'll have a way to buy something there. So we're going to talk about SEO. I can't go into it as deep as I want to. But here's the good news. Next week, at the Small Business Center in Bayboro. A gentleman will be in there who is an expert, maybe the best expert and teacher of website and internet marketing in the whole state. His name is Martin Brosman. Now, I'm really good at a lot of stuff, but Martin is the pro and the expert about these types of topics. So I want you to make a special effort. I won't be live next Thursday night. I'll be there tomorrow night. But the following Thursday night, Martin Brosman will be there, really giving some detailed information about how to make your website become more effective and help you sell things. So if you are already up and running and you're ready for that technical information, Katie's got the expert coming in there to see you. Now, after Martin makes his presentation Thursday week, then we'll be going to the rest of our program and be online. But SEO now, you got to know it. You got to put the right search terms on your web pages. The right words have to be used so that people can come to you first. And it's all about the words and what you put into your text and your content, your videos, how you name your pages to do that. So your information is absolutely imperative for SEO. A website is there, but your group of customers will not know that your website is there if you don't take them to it. We've all heard the term, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know what? That's wrong. Because if you are doing what we're going to talk about doing here, you can have a group of customers and you actually lead them to your website and you actually feed them the information that you want them to have. That's called being assertive. It's called being a little bit pushy. It's called being aggressive and motivated. Because when you have that database we were talking about of all your customers that you think might be interested in buying something from you, all the people that have bought something from you in the past, when you have that database, then you're able to send them constant and continuous emails that on those emails have links to certain pages at your website. And that's how you start getting your customers to go to certain places on your website. And those certain places, ready? Those certain places you lead them to we call landing pages. And those pages are designed to create orders and money. So just because you've got a website doesn't mean people are going to find you. No, 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 no. People find your website because of SEO skills and strategies that you use and how much you promote your website in other ways like email and like through other types of marketing that you're doing. The website is sitting there like a pool. It's up to us to get people to come to the pool and stick their toes in the water. We determine who we're going to go after by targeting customers. Different types of target groups will be warmed up to our different profit centers more than others will be. Maybe we need to target females or males or what ages it is, what's the ethnicity of people that would be most interested at our website. What are their special interests and how do they match up with our niche market things that we're selling? If you don't know the answers to these questions, then it's time to start asking. We need to do Google searches and forums and find out what type of people are most likely to be interested in buying the products that we think are going to serve us best, our different profit centers. When we have our different target groups of customers, then we'll put together our advertising campaign and our marketing campaign with a different type of plan for each different profit center so that we can bring our niche market customers to us. We cannot be all things to all people, but we must be everything to some people. And these some people are our target customer groups, and we're going to focus our limited amount of marketing and advertising dollars to make sure we get the best returns from them. Social media is out there, and there's so many of them. It's incredible now, and they're growing every day. Lots of social medias that you can use and spend a lot of time. Now, I'll give you a warning, and Christina and Beverly can probably speak to this right away, and Sarita can as well. There's so many different types of social media out here that you can just get lost in it. And Papo Stevo here is to tell you, I want you to get really good at two of them before you go out in the rest of the world and spend a lot of time. We don't have but a certain amount of time and energy to do things. So the two that I want you to master are the two that I think are going to make you the most money the fastest. First is YouTube. YouTube is going to make you more money faster than anything else you do. To be able to take your telephone, make a video, and that's called an MP4, save it on your phone and email it, or to take it from your phone file and put it right over into a YouTube app on your telephone, and change that MP4, that video that you took on your phone, into a YouTube video. What does that do for you? You can't email or post on the internet easily anything but a YouTube video. So when you're able to convert your videos to YouTube, you can email them to people no matter how long they are. If it's not a YouTube, you're limited to a video that's less than 15 or 20 seconds. So you can send a long video just with a YouTube link because it's on the internet, so all you're doing is mailing the link. When you're using YouTube and you get better of it, you can have your own YouTube channel. And a YouTube channel is like having your own website, a whole website on its own. Now, I'm just going to start with Valerie about her videos, which are really good. Valerie's main way that she's projecting her videos is on her YouTube channel. But now she needs to project them on her Facebook and on her regular website. She's just taking it one step. So learning Facebook, as we talked about earlier, and learning YouTube are the first two things I want you to go after. And that's why I put those into your homework assignments. After you master those two, then you can go for wherever else you need to go. I know I'm putting a lot of stuff on the table for you tonight. We don't have but a limited time, and it's my job to help you understand how to move forward. Building your customer base, as I said just a few seconds ago, is you to have the tools that you need to start sending customers to your individual web pages. That's why you want a database of email addresses so that you can, on a regular basis, send an email that has links to certain web pages so to have your customers know that you've got new and better things going on, and to have them interested in going to your website on a regular basis. A lot of times people are very concerned about, how am I going to take money from other people? How are people going to pay me? I need to get set up with PayPal and have a checkout system on my web pages. Google offers a checkout system, shop carts. You know how you do when you go to to Amazon.com. You put it here and you put it here, and all of a sudden you're ready to click on I'll buy it. They charge your credit card, and it's automatically shipped to you. And you know what you didn't do? You bought something, bought a lot of stuff maybe, but you hadn't talked to a human being yet. At the end of that transaction, you have not created a relationship. Maybe that's what you want. And if it is, okay, your websites are going to cost more money to get set up, be more complicated, require a lot more maintenance, and sometimes a lot more maintenance than you want to give, which eats up profitability. I've been doing it for 35 years, and I believe in personal service. And me and my Webmaster have come to the point to the degree that because I sell pretty big ticket items, it's important for me to create those personal relationships with my customers. So I want the customer to ask me for a quote. And I want to hear his particular individual needs for how he's designing the equipment that he wants to buy. In other words, let's have an exchange of ideas, of interest, of understanding our mutual issues. When my deal is closed, I have created a customer with a relationship. He has sent me either a check or he given me his credit card, and I've got my money. I didn't go through an automatic paying system. Also, he's going to hold me accountable. He knows he's dealt with a human being, and he has to trust me to do that. You know, a lot of people give their credit card information out to websites and never think about the trust issue, and there's really so much problems with that. We're always hearing about people stealing identities, and that's done a whole lot more often with these automated systems than it is with folks giving the credit card information over the phone. So don't let having a checkout system, an expensive or complicated way for you to get paid, stop you from moving forward with your internet business. You don't have to do it that way. You can have the customer mail you a check or give you their credit card number or send you wire transfers, and you're handling every deal individually and got control of it all the way through. And once the customers start doing business that way, they really like that as well. It promotes repeat business because you're creating relationships. Some folks say, well, I want to get started, but I don't want to have a warehouse. I don't know how I'm going to ship the orders. If your business, if you want to have product and have someone else handle the orders for you and shipping it out, there are other companies that's all they do. That's called the fulfillment prospects of the internet business. None of you so far have mentioned to me that's going to be an issue with you. When it becomes one, let's talk about it, and I'll be glad to help you move in that direction. Credibility is an important factor as you're just getting started and you're dealing with people that's never heard of you or known you or seen you. Maybe will never shake your hand. So there must be room at your website that creates honest and legitimate transactions. And that message must be overwhelming so that people will trust and get past their anxieties. So here's where the Webmaster experience comes into play. Finding those techniques that create trust, that creates legitimacy, that creates a willingness to invite people to ask questions is really important to the credibility situation when you're getting started. The best way to handle credibility is with testimonials. Maybe you're new in business and you don't have the 20 years of testimonials that I can paste at my website, but you can put references. You can put folks up there that know you, that trust you, that will recommend your business. Let me tell you, you become a member of the Entrepreneurs and Associates Academy and show me what you're doing in business and your mission statements. I'll be glad to write a testimonial for you. And I'm always asking y'all to write testimonials for me and for the different small business centers. Matter of fact, this is a good place for me to say, I really want you to send a testimonial to Katie, thanking her and the center for making these programs available. That goes a long way to help sustaining it and going on. When you're in the position to send good testimonials to other people, they're going to be more likely to help you with testimonials back for you. It's a give and take situation. Hospitality, oh my gracious. Hospitality is not a word for a restaurant or a cruise line or an airline company. Hospitality has a whole lot more to do with than a hotel. Websites promote hospitality or they don't. And mostly they do not. The simple caricatures that Tom Davis is using at his website, as simple as that is, it puts a smile on your face. There is something there that says, whoever owns this website, I can't see their face, I don't know them personally, but they had enough sense of humor to at least put something up here that would make me smile. And that is just a fraction of the different things that you can do, Tom. The main thing that you can do is to have videos on your home page and personal photos that's showing that I am a person and I can promote hospitality. A cyber web page right by itself has no personality. It's one of those non-living things. But the very minute you start interjecting personality, photos, and videos, your website becomes more powerful than all those that do not. So know that is a fact. Figure out a way that you can show folks how important it is that you care about them. What is the cliche? People don't really care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show how much we care by our willingness to put our faces and our transparency out there on the internet. People want to do business with people they like, people they trust, people that are doing things that they approve of. If you go to church, if you believe in Jesus Christ, if you believe in other spiritual issues, if you're a teacher or a veteran, Coast Guardsman, Marine, Army, if you're Boy Scout, Girl Scout, been in Scouting, Eagle Scout, no matter what country you're from, and we have all different types of nationalities that are even with us tonight, be proud of that fact. Be proud of who you are and make the best of it. Maybe certain sports that you like or hobbies. I used to love to do saltwater fishing and hunt wild turkeys and do wood crafts. Did fish replicas. I've had a lot of hobbies through the years. And I'll mention those from time to time when I'm talking with a customer. Maybe it's folks in my neighborhood or different family connections or places that I've been or love, restaurants that I like. The common denominators that you can create with your potential customers are huge factors of whether or not they will feel good about getting in touch with you. One of the things that I do on every web page is I remind people I'm a member of the American Legion. I've been state commander, had a lot of offices there, paid my dues for over 51 years. Ex-Coast Guardsman, love my time in the Coast Guard. Active in the Dunn Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm active in the Methodist Church. Norm and I are both cancer survivors. I'm a Mason and a Shriner, believe in the work that both of them do. And I put these symbols up at the website, and every week, not every other week, but every week, I'll have a phone call that starts out with a new customer that mentions one of these factors and says, hey, I'm a Mason too, or hey, I see you were in the Coast Guard, or I called you up because you're a veteran. I'm not a veteran, but my daddy was, so I'm going to give you first shot at my order. People love that. People want to have relationships and talk to folks that are living a life like they do, but you got to share enough information with them to let them know what your particular niches are. It is so powerful, so powerful. Now, let me tell you, we have to do business with folks that like us because our enemies are certainly not going to give us any business. So you've got to put out the bait, the fresh bait in the water to let folks know that you're interested in certain things. You've proven the fact that I think that the world don't revolve around you by your help in veterans organizations or at church or by being a teacher. When you send those messages out, people kind of like you and I, they'll be more likely to give you a chance at the business than other folks. And to tell you a little story, those people are not going to try to beat you down to a price where you don't make any money because they're going to love you and they're going to want you to make a profit. Therefore, your business will be more profitable day in, year in, decades, 63 years like my business, by doing business with people that like you and want to keep doing business with you. And you do that by finding the common denominators. You'll never hear this, I don't think, from other people teaching about websites. But I think it's one of the most important lessons that I can share with you because I have personal experience knows how it works. What are our ultimate goals now? Let's write them down, draw a circle around it. Add new customers. Retain those customers. Start building a customer base and a database so we can stay in touch with them. We have to keep our mind on cash flow because that's what pays the bills and buys the groceries. And we want as many years as we can have with more sales and less stress. And you do that by being smart and holding on to the basic business skills that are taught to you in the 40 drill skills. You want to help shoppers find a specific web page. We're going to learn and we're going to figure out how to send them to the pages where you're going to make your sales. Well, we'll use domain names in our linkage and our advertising. We'll use all the search terms we can in SEO practices. We're going to use Google Tools and Maps and Calendars and Google My Business to help us get people to our web pages. And we're definitely, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to use our mobile page. Now that Google Tools and Maps and Calendars and Google My Business, that's where Martin Brosman's going to come in and spend a whole 2-hour seminar to help us do that Thursday week. Not tomorrow night, but the following Thursday. So let's talk about an action plan. What can you do now? 1, start searching the internet using the search terms that you would think people would use if they were shopping for your products or your services. And see what web pages are coming up. See who's doing the best job with their SEO. And this is going to require some time, so go ahead and plan to set aside several hours to do nothing but sit at Google and type in the search terms that you think people would type if they were looking for your product. Okay? I'm going to give you a little tip on that in a minute. After you find the 3 websites that seem to be doing the best job, I want you to remember and save the links to those website names. In other words, I want you to be able to go back to those websites that do a good job like you want to do. Once you see that, you can write the narratives on how you would take their web pages and take out what they're saying and insert what you want to say. In other words, you can use their same system if you like on those that you like, and you just change the narratives and the words. Remember, I was going to ask you in the homework to write your vision statement and your mission statement and write down your profit centers. All that's coming right back to here. You're going to use that information as you're building your website. Listing down all that information I just mentioned. All your products, how you're going to price them, your different menus. Let's get together some photographs and images that we'll be able to fill our website up with imaging and videos. And figure out how we're going to space them around like I have at my web pages. Once you have that information, consider what your domain name is going to be. And you can go to GoDaddy and figure out the domain names that you want to lock in on. Here's the site, GoDaddy.com. Check out the different domain names. Now, after doing all that, it's time to get down to the basics and contact your webmaster. Talk to the person that you want to hire to put your website together and go on. The key here is by going through the 8 steps that we went through before you got here, you were doing the homework that they're not going to have to do. In other words, by you being prepared to talk to your webmaster, you save them a lot of questions and a lot of guesswork because they can't read your mind. They cannot read your mind, and you can't expect them. They're in the webmaster business. They're not in your business. I can't expect my webmaster to understand what it takes to sell farm equipment. I can't expect my webmaster to know what it takes to present videos and seminars. His job is to put together a website based on the information that I give him. But he's also got a job to stay on top of the market and attend his classes and do his schooling on the little tools that he can put into web pages to help the owners sell more stuff. How to do those presentations, what little tools to use. So they got a responsibility that they got to be held accountable for. And then check out their work. If you're getting ready to do business with a webmaster, ask him to give you some samples of other websites that he's put together or she's put together. And you check it out and see what you think. And then it's time that maybe if you really like and you're ready to pull the string, call up some of those businesses where this webmaster is doing their maintenance and putting together the website, and ask the hard questions. Are you happy? Do you think the price was reasonable? How long have you been with them? How fast do they give you service? Are they able to answer your questions with the market? Are they on top of the game or not? Yeah. Entrepreneurs seem to think, especially new ones, well, I'm brand new in the game. I'm a babe in the marketplace. Therefore, I just don't have to go to someone that I trust and just accept that whatever the website that they end up giving me, I'm going to be happy with it because it's a whole lot better than what I had before.
Yeah.
Well, Papa Steve-O don't think that way. So Katie's come on board. You got a question for us, Katie? Katie, did you have a question?
No, I just came back. I'm good.
All right. Thank you very much. So getting back to the point, our webmasters, we can't expect them to read our minds. You need to do your homework before you get there. You're going to do two things when you do that. Number one, save one heck of a lot of money because you're providing them the information, a place to use as a guide, photos and images. You've done your homework and you've just cut your website preparation costs probably in half. That's a big difference. You can do a lot to keep your costs down and to let them use their skills putting together the information you give to them. When you contact your webmaster, introduce yourself on the phone. Make sure it's someone that you can talk with easily, that you understand what they're saying, because there's a lot of folks that are coming into America today from other parts of the world that have not mastered the English language that might be great at the webmaster work, but they're awful at communicating with you. Well, I'm not putting them down at all, but you want to find someone that you can communicate with because you're learning a new language anyway, which is Internet. And when you have to learn Internet plus another foreign language, it gets very, very difficult. So make sure you can communicate easily, one-on-one conversation, because your webmaster don't have to live next door in the same town. I mean, they could be around the world somewhere. My webmaster lives out in Texas, and we communicate very well. He's a Baptist preacher, and he can talk North Carolina as good as I can. List your goals. Make sure the webmaster knows what you're trying to achieve, and he'll have a better chance of helping you get there. And you got to tell him about the websites that you like and why. So, what must your web presentation include now? A really good mobile page. I want you to have slideshow banners on your home page and other pages. You see, a web page has got three parts. It's got the header up top and a header at the bottom, and then the information in the middle. The two headers are on every page in your website, so you can put some information in the header, and it shows up every time someone's looking at any page at your website. That's why they have the headers that way, so you'll want to design them to do that. Go back and look at my headers, and you'll see how I've done that. You need Google Locator Map at your business if you have a business location. Now, Beverly's going to have a storefront, a business location. She's going to want to have a Google Locator Map so that when someone finds her on their telephone, it automatically, they can hit that little button in the telephone GPS system will take you right to your store. How much does that cost? Almost nothing. So definitely you want to use that if you have a storefront. And Google My Business has those same types of features for them. Matter of fact, Google My Business is kind of an independent website for you that you can have without having a website. And if you've got a website, you can use Google My Business to send people to it. So that is really important for you. Again, Thursday week, Barton Brosman is going to get into all these details, and that's why I'm kind of skipping them over. You don't have to listen to me. You've got a pro coming, the best at it in North Carolina. Now, the Internet people, established webmasters, have something they call an Internet press release, and almost nobody knows about this, but they have a way to do press releases on the internet, like you see on TV when you're watching CNN and MSNBC and Fox and the big news corporations. They're saying, we got breaking news from here and breaking news from there. What it is, like Reuters or AP or some of the big newspapers, they send out press releases. Well, there's an internet press release organization that webmasters use that can do the same thing. So if you want to promote your products, a new business, something really going on, a webmaster has a way of spending $75 to $100 and blasting the whole United States with a press release about your business. I've done some press releases that we did that were picked up on the West Coast and in the big cities and such as that, depending on how they're worded. So it's really important that you know that exists and you talk to your webmaster about it, especially as you're opening a new business. Request a quotation, a written quotation from your webmaster for two reasons. You're not paying him any money yet. You want to see how he presents his business to you. If he's not good at presenting his business to you, then why in the world would you think he would be good at presenting your business to somebody else? Kind of just makes sense, doesn't it? So when you see in that presentation come to you, are you listening to me, Tom? You don't need to make sure that your presentations are a work of art so that people will trust and want to feel good about trusting you with the future of their business. After the webmaster checks out your favorites, and he can give you some firm quotes and estimates. So don't be in a big hurry, but be making positive steps, and don't waste their time. If you're ready to make the move, then get your money ready. Sometimes you don't have to actually get out the checkbook, get out the credit card, maybe borrow some money. A website is going to cost you some money, and I want you to look at it as an investment, not a cost. It is a cost to doing business in a way, a startup cost. But when you look at it as an investment, then I want you to expect a return on that investment. Now we're talking business. We're just not talking Chamber of Commerce. This is a feel-good thing I want to do so I can say I've got a website. No, it's a serious thing to do. We're going to spend some money on it, even if we don't have to borrow it, because we're going to put together a website that's going to start paying for itself right away, or we're not going to do it at all. Do it right or don't do it at all. Because you can go on Facebook, social media, Google My Business, YouTube channels, and get a whole lot of business started without ever spending any big bucks. Eventually, though, sooner than later, you're going to need to be online with a good website. Are you listening to me, Jimmy Packer? Say amen if you are. I'm glad to see you on board. You need to get your website up and running to make things happen. Quit sitting around on your butt, my friends. Let's go make some money. It don't happen unless we actually get in the groove, okay? I want you to imagine, believe, and achieve. Imagine, believe, and achieve, and we can do all that with internet marketing. There's no doubt about it. Let your light shine. Let people know you're being the best business person you can be, and your business will do a whole lot better job as we go along. So thank you for being with us tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all all tomorrow night in Bayboro, back again here on Wednesday night and such as that. And so I'm saying God bless you. Let's have some chit-chat. You can turn your mics on. Katie's got some things she's going to say, and we'll be here as long as y'all want to talk. Thank you very much.
I would love for people to chat with Steve. I just wanted to let everybody know during this internet discussion. Some of the things that I've run into, I'm sure Steve can echo this, is that the biggest fear in reaching out to a webmaster is that some of them tend to be transient. So say you find somebody that is great, right, but they have your username and password, and a lot of the access to the website is theirs. And then they decide to move. And as mobile as his business is, right, maybe that person you attached onto, now suddenly the username and password and all the infrastructure, you feel like, you might not have a lot of autonomy over it. So I think that I would once again go to your local SBC director, see if they've got a network of people that they have a good track record with. If you've got other friends, like Steve said, his webmasters in Texas, if you get a personal referral, on somebody. And depending on whether you're going to do commerce on your website depends on how involved. You just might need a landing page. If you're if you're driving people to retail establishments, very different than doing commerce. And as Steve said, WordPress, certain web platforms allow for commerce, and certain platforms do not. And depending on what your model is the direction you're going to go. But a lot of if you're looking to maybe, if you're like me, you want a personal recommendation from someone. You want someone that's walk the walk, talk the talk. Start out with your SBC director, because they've had bad stories and good stories. They'll tell you who to stay away from, and they might have some people that have, and wouldn't it be nice if you could support another local small business that started up, right? So that's kind of all I had to add about that, and I'll let Steve go into addressing any of your comments or questions. He's really great at that. So.
All right, thank you, Katie. And I see we got some videos up now. Hey, Tom. Hey, Beverly, how are you doing? You got your mic on?
I think
Y'all
so.
can turn your mics on now. You can unmute. Can you hear us, Beverly?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Beverly needs to come and see me.
Well, you're looking good tonight. I did some talking about you and looking forward to learning more about your business. Thank you so much.
I've been painting all day.
Oh, my gracious. There was something else. Shanika, are you still with us? Y'all can turn your mics on if you'd like. We'll talk a few minutes.
And there's Steve, can I add one more thing, which I
Please
think
do.
you talked about? So Beverly, we had talked about, and Martin Rossman talks about this too. You cannot underestimate the power of your story, especially in this. People are looking to support small businesses now. They're looking to pull their money out of some of the bigger retail corporations that maybe don't align with their values. When corporations didn't align with certain values, that wasn't an issue, but now they are. So your smaller businesses, don't forget to put your story on your I know your story goes on your website. Beverly, why did I get into this? What did I used to do? What does this bring me? People want to hear your story. So don't forget to include that in whatever web presence you have. Like Steve said, videos go a long way towards doing that, but your story is a lot more important than you think it is. People do want to know about it.
Well said. Well said. Nicole, do you have some words of wisdom for us? See, I don't mind putting you on the spot. Listen.
Oh, goodness.
See there, I'm ready. Yeah, that's okay. So, Tom, tomorrow night, I want you to be ready to help us make some videos, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. We're going to get some practice, and I hope you all can be there. Sarita, I hadn't heard from you down in Sampson County. How are things going with you?
All right. How everybody doing tonight?
Okay. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Christina, I see your mic is off. How about talking to us? Can you turn your video on? And Jimmy, how about you?
Oh, yes, sir.
How's things in Garland tonight?
Everything going good, Mr. Steve. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I did get a chance to, I was telling you about becoming an authorized dealer with the products.
Yes.
So today I actually became authorized dealer. I ordered the minimum amount of products to become authorized dealer. So now I'm going to be getting a stand with a lot of borrowed products. That's a business that's already reputable with products. So I can kind of like get my own website to sell their products. So that's the stage I'm at now. I'm trying to get a website now. So.
Well, that's fantastic. We'll get that started. Katie, I mentioned about the R3 training that I mentioned. So we've got Sarita and Jimmy with us tonight that we're getting ready to start some training with them. And part of that is of asking them to attend these programs. So it's just a real great program. Okay, Chuck, thank you for your input and your photos tonight. I hope y'all don't mind me using your pictures.
Steve, I will not be able to be there tomorrow, but I'm sorry to miss that because I would really like to see how to make a video and put it on YouTube.
Well, what we'll do is, if you can be there, we'll meet early, and we'll go through the process, just you and I.
Well, I'm going to be completely out of town tomorrow. So.
Well, I was talking about it another day, or we'll get Tom to help us as well.
Okay. But I do have a question, and maybe you'll address this at some point in the future. But how do you price a product?
Well, that is a good question, and it's something that we'll have to do, and we'll talk about that week 3 and week 4. And with your particular products, we might just need to spend some special time on it because it's all going to turn into how much volume you're going to have.
Right.
So generally, the process is you take what your cost is and multiply it times 3, and that'll be the place we start seeing how it stacks up in the market. But we'll spend a lot of time on that in the future lessons.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for sharing. Katie, thank you for sponsoring.
Just to follow up on that last comment, if you're looking for a subject-specific seminar, and you mentioned that, gosh, you wish you could come to Bayboro, go online to the statewide site, because there may very well be somebody else that's handling it. Steve is one of our most prominent subject matter experts, but we do have more. And you might find it offered through Asheville Online or through Buscom Online, or so, or go to your SBC director and locally. They might be able to connect you with a free local business that's willing to consult with you about it. So, so Steve is one of a few really comprehensive subject matter experts, but if you look online right now, there's like 165 classes going on the next 3 months. So there might be something there.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Okay, everybody. God bless you. Good night. I look forward to working with you in the future. Hope to see you tomorrow night. And Julbert, Julbert, make sure in the chat that you give us your email address and where you're at and some information so we can stay in touch with you. If you did not get your handouts and would like me to email them to you, while the chat board is open, write it in. And Katie, want to say something else?
I will be sending those tonight to everybody that attended.
Fantastic. All right. Well, all of you take care. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Good night.